Navigating your Submittable profile as a 2026 Austin Arts, Culture, Music, and Entertainment Funding Awardee. This is a walkthrough of the Submittable portal for the City of Austin's Arts, Culture, Music, and Entertainment Funding Cycle, administered by Create Austin, a service of the Long Center for the Performing Arts. By now, you should have received an award notification from AACME to your email address. This notification contains important information, next steps, and deadlines you must be aware of. Please read the entire notification. To access the Submittable portal, go to thelongcenter.submittable.com/login and log in. Once you're logged in, you will be brought to your Submittable profile. You may also access your profile directly through your award notification by clicking View Submission. To get to your specific award, go to the Submissions tab and click the title of the award you wish to access. The submission will have an accepted status in green next to the submission name. Here you will see 5 tabs. The Activity tab lists all administrative actions taken by you, Create Austin, and AACME staff overseeing your award. The Messages tab is where you communicate with grant staff. Here you can see all previous communications with Long Center or AACME staff. If you see a message from the Community Programs Department or a Long Center email address, that comes from the Long Center's Community Programs team. If you see an email from a City of Austin Divisions or an austintexas.gov address, that is AACME staff. You can communicate with both teams directly through this platform by replying to a message or sending us a new one. You will also receive an email to your external inbox when you are sent a message in Submittable. Reminder: the Community Programs team is here to make sure you receive payments, can navigate the Submittable portal, and have access to overall administrative support. City of Austin staff are here to help you through the programmatic side of your grant. They determine all program guidelines, review your reporting materials, finalize scopes of work, and provide answers for questions about the content of your activities. The Forms tab is the most important section of your Submittable profile. This is where you or your fiscal sponsor will be submitting all administrative work for your grant award. Here you'll see the types of forms: Initial, Additional, and Request. The initial form is a combination of all of the additional forms you completed during the application process. Within this form, you will see your responses to the intake form and the application form. Additional forms are sent to you by grant staff. Once you submit, they can also be open for editing if you are asked to make a correction or would like to update certain information. If there is a deadline for you to submit a form, you can see that here. Request forms are available for repeat submission. Long Center and City staff have the ability to change the status of a request form to tell you when an action relating to your submission has been completed, accepted, or is still in progress. Some additional and request forms are mandatory parts of the granting process. Others are optional tools at your disposal. Once you have submitted an additional or request form, you will be able to see your submissions through these boxes. If you start a form and decide to return to it later, save it as a draft. Any forms you have started but not submitted will have 3 dots on the left-hand side and say Continue on the right. New forms you have not yet started will say Open. Please note, the forms you see on your specific award profile will vary depending on your program. Additionally, some forms will only become available to you once you have completed certain steps. For example, progress and final reports will only be visible after you have received your first payment. Accepting your award. When you receive your award acceptance email, you will also be sent an award decision form. Each program will have a deadline to decide whether you will accept your award. It is important to pay attention to communications to make sure you do not miss your deadline. Getting your first payment. The 2 most important parts of getting your first payment are signing your contract and verifying your financial details. To submit your financial details, click on the Financial Information form. The information needed by the Long Center to verify your details and confirm the security of your grant funds will differ depending on your situation and what payment method you select. If you are required to verify a test payment, you can submit confirmation of the amount received through the Test Payment Confirmation Request form. Signing your contract. The Long Center may be the contract holder for your grant programs. This means you will contract directly with us rather than the City of Austin. You will sign your grant contract through DocuSign. You do not need a DocuSign account to sign your contract. You will receive an email from DocuSign with a direct link to the contract. Please read it carefully, including all exhibits, and sign on the signature page. We highly recommend saving your contract. The steps on how to do this are included in the email from Submittable that follows the DocuSign email. Once you have signed your contract, you have the option of uploading it through this form. If you think you might lose track of it in your inbox, this is an easy place to store it for later access. Completing the award process. Submitting an event listing to Visit Austin is required for all public events put on using grant funds. Submitting verification of your event listing is necessary to receive your interim or final payment, depending on your program. Attending at least 2 Miles Partnership training sessions is also required. Notes. The Notes tab is available as an informal space to record miscellaneous thoughts, materials, and reporting-related content. It is not viewable to grant staff. We highly recommend using the Notes feature to track your required materials and outstanding items. Awards and payments. To see a record of all payments that have been distributed, click on the Awards and Payments tab. Here you can see your total awarded amount, the date of each payment, the amount paid, and the payment memo. Accessing technical support. To request help from your Submittable profile page, click on the icon at the bottom right of your screen. There you can directly search for help or click Technical Support for applicants. This button will take you to a help page that holds a variety of resources for any technical issues you may experience. Click on the frequently asked questions you have, or if you do not see one that fits your situation, click on any of them. You will then be able to search for your question or scroll through the list of support articles available. If you are unable to find an article or the steps to solve your issue, scroll to the bottom of the Submitter Help main page. Locate the button Email Support for Technical Help, enter a description of your issue. You will be able to see messages from the Submittable Help Center on your Submittable profile. For further support with the Submittable platform, reach out to Create Austin staff at City of Austin Grants at thelongcenter.org. Fiscal sponsors. The fiscal sponsor handles financial transactions and supports reporting duties on behalf of the sponsored project. Fiscal sponsors may only be used for the Nexus and Elevate grants. Transferring submission to your fiscal sponsor. Awardees may use a fiscal sponsor to handle financial transactions and support reporting duties on behalf of the awardee. As a fiscal sponsor, you will be the owner of the submission to complete all grant and payment requirements. The awardee must initiate a transfer of ownership. To initiate a transfer of ownership, click on the Transfer Ownership hyperlink under the accepted status of your submission. Enter the first name, last name, and email address of your fiscal sponsor. Please read the transfer agreement, confirm, and submit transfer. Your fiscal sponsor will receive a notification of submission ownership transfer via email. The fiscal sponsor must read the entire notification, view transfers, and accept the transfer. To view transfers, use the View Transfer button from the email and log into your account. Once logged in, click on the View Transfer hyperlink under My Submissions. Next, click on the Accept hyperlink on the right-hand side of the incoming transfer. Read the pop-up window and accept the transfer. The fiscal sponsor is now the owner of this submission and is responsible for completing the financial information form, signing the grant agreement, and submitting all other required forms and grant reporting materials. The fiscal sponsor can and should add the awardee to all forms except for the financial information form as a collaborator. To add a collaborator, click on Manage Collaborators at the top right-hand side of each form and enter the email of the collaborator. While the collaborator may work on the form, the fiscal sponsor must submit the form. Collaborators do not have the ability to submit forms on their own. Create Austin website and resources. For more information, please visit createaustin.org/resources. If you have any questions about payments or requests for technical assistance, please contact City of Austin Grants at thelongcenter.org. If you have any questions about your award determination, grant requirements, or grant support, please contact AACME staff.